Good morning, honorable members, and those under the sound of my voice. I want to first of all begin by wishing each of you a very happy Valentine's Day. I want to share with you today in our Moments of Impact devotional segment, a devotional entitled, Bearing One Another's Burdens. The Bahamas would be a better place if we all would bear one another's burdens. As Bahamians, I think we all can do a better job at being there for people when they're going through a difficult period in their life. I was disheartened a few weeks ago by the alleged suicide of a young woman on the Paradise Island Bridge. When I heard of the incident, I couldn't help but to think about this young woman who has been carrying perhaps heavy loads all by herself. And could it very well be that the load just became unbearable? You see, you'll be amazed at how many people you pass on a daily basis that are hurting deep down inside, but are masking their pain with a smile. The truth of the matter is, the weight of life can sometimes be overbearing and overwhelming. And all of us, every now and then, we need someone to help us carry our load. I recall a passage of scripture in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, where the Apostle Paul was addressing the church in Galatia regarding helping people during their challenging and distressing moments. And here's what he says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 2. Bear ye one another's burdens and fulfill the law of Christ. To bear one another's burdens means to help lighten the load for someone. Paul says when we bear one another's load, we fulfill the law of Christ. What then is the law of Christ? The law of Christ is that we love our neighbors as we love ourselves. Today, as the world celebrates Valentine's Day in just about every continent, which of course is symbolic of love that we share to those that are near and dear to us, let us all make a commitment today to give the gift of love to someone by bearing their burdens. How can we bear one another's burdens? We can bear burdens by being there for people during their most difficult moment. We can bear burdens for people by being a listening ear, by giving an encouraging word, by being kind to each other, by praying for someone who is going through a very difficult moment. In my conclusion today, I leave you with this final thought. Let us bear each other's burdens. The load you lift today might be the life you save tomorrow. Selah. Think and act on these things. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we praise and exalt your name. We thank you for the gift of life and the gift of love. We praise you for your excellent kindness and goodness towards us as a people. We thank you, Lord, for your unconditional love that you pour upon us on a daily basis. Thank you for loving us when we were unlovable. We pray that your love would abound in every facet of our nation. We ask, Almighty God, that you would remove selfishness and hatred and bitterness and unforgiveness. Remove revengeful and retaliatory thinking from the hearts of our citizens. We pray that our nation would be one where our citizens would bear one another's burdens. Help us as a people to care genuinely for each other. And now, Father, today we cover our parliamentarians. We pray for their strength, their stamina, and great success as they set out to conduct the people's business. We pray for their focus and for their determination on the task that lies ahead of them. Continue to undergird each of them and grant them your wisdom and your knowledge. We covet your blessings and your seal of approval on today's session. For it's in Jesus' name we pray. And all of God's people say, amen. Let us pray the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Bell Wayne Monroe, Vaughn Miller, Jobeth Colby Davis, Peter Moxie, Mario Bolag, Jomo Campbell, Basil McIntosh, Maz Larota, Pia Glover Roll, Lisa Ramey, Zane Lightbourne, Dr. Hubert Minnis, Jamal Strawn, John Pinder, Barkus Roll, Leon Lundy, Kirk Cornish, Wade Watson, Leonardo Lightbourne, Leslie Miller Bryce, Leroy Major, Sylvanus Petty, Mikkel Bonnaby, Michael Pintard, James Quasey Thompson, Aram Lewis, Shannon Don Cartwright, Adrian Gibson, Adrian White, Kingsley Smith.
Good morning, honorable members. Honorable members, as today is second Wednesday, we will revert to the order of business on page 36 in your rule books. And that today is the day of love. Let's handle the people's business today with some love and respect for each other. Honorable member for Suffolk and Barnabas, you heard me? I did. You okay? Yes, don't disturb Marco City now. I want him to hear that. Okay. Swearing in of new members. Communication by ministers. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Exumas and Ragged Island.
Madam Speaker, it is always my pleasure to stand to represent the resilient people of the Exumas and Ragged Island, and I am grateful for this opportunity to serve them and our beloved country. Madam Speaker, when I came to public life, I promised my constituents and the people of the Bahamas that I would bring to government and to the business of tourism the same seriousness, work ethic, enthusiasm, and strategic thinking that has brought me much success in the private sector. Indeed, the business of tourism is not just business, however. It's a heavy social and nationalistic imperative. It is the foundation of our way of life. It's how we have jobs, how we feed our children, how we pay our bills, how we build homes. It's how we send our children to college and how we improve the overall quality of life. So for me, Madam Speaker, this is more than just a job. It is a mission. I understand that mission and I accept that mission. So I am honored to stand today as the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation to update you on our tourism industry and the media coverage the Bahamas recently received as a result of the updated U.S. travel advisory. As you would no doubt know, on January 26, the U.S. Department of State restated a Level 2 travel advisory for the Bahamas, asking travelers to exercise precaution. This Level 2 is not new. It has been in place for many years, and a great many popular tourist destinations share this Level 2 designation. The State Department advisory pointed to a wave of crime in the country, mainly the homicides in non-tourist areas of the province during the month of January. Prime Minister Davis issued an official statement on behalf of our government and country, assuring visitors that the Bahamas remains a safe destination for tourists. We renew that message today, and it is a message I am happy to report has been echoed by many of our visitors themselves. And indeed, our January 24 arrival numbers exceeded the record-setting numbers of January 2023. Now, unfortunately, earlier this month, 2 American tourists claimed that they were sexually assaulted in Freeport. The Royal Bahamas Police Force issued a statement on February 7th confirming that they were investigating the allegations along with assistance from the FBI. Many Bahamians have taken great interest in the press reports, which indicate that the property's surveillance footage contradicts the allegation. But I want to be clear that it's important for the full and fair investigation to take place so the facts can be established in an orderly fashion. When I spoke in this place after the issuance of the travel advisory, I assured you that we will pull out all the stops to address the concerns of potential visitors in order to mitigate the impact of the warning, and that we would do so in a calm, deliberate, and sober manner. That is what we have done, and that is what we are continuing to do. And before I detail the many ways in which we are working to make sure 2024 is a big success, I want to thank my terrific team at Ministry of Tourism. We've all been working around the clock on this issue. And I also want to thank our stakeholders and Director General Duncombe for active engagement with our partners, including the promotion boards. Central to shaping an effective response is collecting data from various information streams to understand the scope and nature of the impact. We are monitoring communication channels throughout the globe using state-of-the-art artificial intelligence, along with analytics from our domestic and global partners, with assistance from our international PR agencies and professional crisis management experts. Our comprehensive analysis has unearthed important insights, offering us a nuanced understanding of the multifaceted dynamics at play in the wake of this advisory, and allowing us to create a targeted strategy, which is already beginning to work, although there is, of course, still much work ahead. It's important to remember that we are practiced at using the most modern analytical tools and have already used them to great effect. In 2023, we executed a holistic strategy that included travel missions to more than 15 major cities in Canada, the United States, and other markets, showcasing our 16 major tourist destinations in the Bahamas. So our current efforts are building on previous successes. Indeed, we welcomed more than 9 million visitors to our shores last year. So I am pleased to report that what we are learning now is that despite some negative impacts, which we take seriously and must address, our tourism brand continues to be robust and resilient. While there were 2 separate, very significant spikes of negative press and social media following the State Department's news and then the assault allegations, both press coverage and social media engagements fell quickly after each spike. By February 7th, overall coverage had returned nearly to pre-advisory levels. To contextualize, we saw thousands of interactions regarding the Bahamas on various media platforms, peaking around January 29th, with a slowdown to hundreds of mentions by February 7th, with the vast majority being neutral or positive. One interesting data finding is that the coverage and discussion of the advisory in the Bahamas was in many instances intertwined with coverage of the U.S. travel warning about Jamaica. The level of engagement online through news outlets globally for Jamaica surpassed that of the Bahamas by 43%. As I said earlier, most tourist destinations carry at least a level 2 USA advisory, as we do, which indicates that the US government advises visitors take precautions. But Jamaica is a level 3, which means that the US State Department advises its citizens to reconsider travel to that destination. We are aware that heightened concerns about a regional neighbor can affect perceptions about safety throughout the region. And that is why we have spent a lot of time seeking to educate international partners, media, and travel audiences, emphasizing that we are a distinct archipelago of 700 islands within the broader Caribbean region. Although any negative coverage of our country is distressing and something we take seriously, I want to note that our analytics indicate that only 8% of online coverage of the Bahamas over the relevant time period was focused on crime. These negative stories were disseminated against a backdrop of stories featuring either positive or neutral coverage. This challenges and puts to rest the prevailing notion that crime dominates the overarching narrative of our nation in the wake of the advisory. We do not minimize the need to address the crime issue, as evidenced by the crime plan articulated by the Prime Minister, evidenced by the great work of the Ministry of National Security and the Royal Bahamas Police Force. And I want to be clear that we will make the work of the Ministry of Tourism exceedingly easier by breaking this wave of crime. This is a community problem. The police needs everyone's help, and I call on all Bahamians to do our part. But it is important to me to emphasize the reduction in negative coverage, which underscores the need and validates the strategy of making concerted efforts to amplify positive narratives and to counter prevailing misconceptions. The negative stories are losing momentum, Madam Speaker, and our efforts to put forward our own positive stories are taking effect and will continue. We are satisfied that our strategy, which reflects significant industry and stakeholder input, is on course and will continue to reverse negative repercussions and will be a part of our larger efforts to achieve success for the industry and the country. We know that at the beginning of the year, positive interest in the Bahamas was trending up. We capitalized on the momentum generated by early January surge, which showcased the excellence of Bahamian tourism through targeted amplification and retargeting initiatives. As we navigate the challenges before us, I wish to share some of the additional proactive measures that the Ministry of Tourism and our stakeholders are taking to mitigate fallout and to pave the way for an even brighter future for our tourism industry. One of our primary initiatives is open communication and collaborations with stakeholders in the travel industry. It is important for us to be as inclusive as possible. So if you haven't heard from us yet, you will. And we invite you to feel free to reach out to us as well. We're engaging in extensive outreach to wholesalers, tour operators, and consortia, disseminating accurate information to address traveler apprehension. Through paid ads, trade publications, informative webinars, and in-person meetings with tour operators and distribution partners, we are working diligently to reassure our partners and stakeholders of the safety and allure of the Bahamas as a premier travel destination. By monitoring bookings, tracking sentiments at trade shows and events, and maintaining weekly stakeholder meetings, we are committed to fostering a supportive and transparent dialogue that builds trust and confidence amongst industry players. We have meticulously crafted a marketing strategy aimed at mitigating the impact on our tourism product and our national image. Our goals are to deepen market penetration, promote a reassuring narrative, and amplify the Bahamas' brand to a wider audience. We plan to continue to saturate social media with authentic, positive stories. We've already begun an international media blitz, and I have appeared on several international travel media programs, as well as several executives of the Ministry of Tourism. We have shared proactive press releases throughout global tourism networks that shed a positive light on the country. We have contacted travel publications to share positive stories, and our content from visiting journalist program will be posted and will be shared. Our core objective is to achieve 50% market penetration with our existing television and video partners. To achieve this goal, we have strategically increased our media spend across various platforms, ensuring a robust presence in key markets, including television. And I wish to publicly thank the Minister of Finance for his support in these various initiatives. To achieve this goal, we have strategically allocated resources. We aim to saturate the airwaves, captivating audiences with the allure of our pristine beaches, vibrant culture, and unparalleled hospitality. To this end, we will leverage the power of Connect TV and cable TV, targeting audience with a demonstrated interest in travel and a propensity for consuming Caribbean content. Our strategy is rooted in precision, focusing on key source markets such as Atlanta, Boston, Chicago, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, Los Angeles, Seattle, New York, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., and Texas. By aligning our messaging with the interests and aspirations of our target audience, we aim to reaffirm a deep sense of connection and affinity towards the Bahamas. But our efforts do not stop there, Madam Speaker. Recognizing the need to embrace new media partners and innovative approaches, we are poised to expand our reach throughout out-of-home placements and targeted e-blasts. Through partnerships and creative execution, we will captivate audiences in high-traffic areas, leaving an indelible impression that resonates long after the initial encounter. Our partnerships with Inc. Global's Reach TV, the world's premier in-airport TV network, will further amplify our message, reaching over 30 million passengers per month across airports that fly to the Bahamas. Our YouTube strategy represents a pivotal component of our overarching approach, blending prospecting and remarketing initiatives to maximize our impact. Through branded island spots and targeted placements, we will captivate audience seeking Caribbean adventures while re-engaging with previous visitors through compelling island-themed content. By leveraging the power of storytelling and visual imagery, we aim to evoke emotions, stir imaginations, and inspire wanderlust, positioning the Bahamas as the ultimate destination for unforgettable experiences. But our digital footprint extends beyond YouTube alone. Recognizing the immense potential of social media platforms in shaping perceptions and influencing behaviors, we are harnessing the power of Facebook and Instagram to reach and engage with our target audience on a deeper level. But it does not stop there, Madam Speaker. Our Global Influencers campaign represents a major effort to leverage the power of influencers in reshaping perceptions and driving visitation to the Bahamas. We have conducted outreach to both new and previously engaged influencers and celebrities, targeting key markets, as I referenced before, as well as Canada, Europe, with a focus on Germany, and of course, the Bahamas itself. We're already reaching millions of potential visitors with this initiative. Through initiatives such as the See Yourself Influencer Media and travel agent family trips, we are providing first-hand experiences that dispel myths and reinforce the positive attributes of our nation. With outreach to media influencers across the USA markets, in the core markets we mentioned earlier, we are amplifying our message and expanding our reach. We call on all local social media influencers as well to get involved in your own authentic way to tell the world that it's still better in the Bahamas. Through destination activities and targeted engagement, we aim to showcase the beauty, diversity, and safety of the Bahamas, inspiring travelers to experience our nation firsthand. Our campaigns will also identify frequent international travelers and travelers to the Caribbean, tailoring our message to resonate with their interests and aspirations. But it does not stop there, Madam Speaker. We have collaborated with a diverse range of online marketing travel intent partners to ignite enthusiasm for travel to the Bahamas. Amongst these partners are industry leaders such as Kayak, TripAdvisor, Expedia, Skyscanner, amongst others. And by fostering meaningful connections and sparking conversations, we will grow the number of visitors who become advocates, championing the Bahamas as a safe, must-visit destination. Further, our new partnership with travel meta search engine Kayak represents an incredible opportunity to leverage email marketing to showcase the Bahamas to a highly engaged audience actively searching for Caribbean vacations. With its vast user base and robust platforms, Kayak provides a gateway to reach millions of potential visitors, enticing them with the promise of sun-kissed beaches, crystal clear waters, and unforgettable adventures. We are creating new emailed newsletters to highlight new offers, upcoming events, hotels, new flights, things to do options on each island. Nassau Paradise Island was the first email letter, and that was developed, and it is being finalized, and it's going to reach millions, Madam Speaker. Email newsletters are currently underway for all 16 island destinations and will be deployed to trade databases with over 1 million subscribers, 1.2 million consumers directly, and more than 50,000 trade partners. And no, Madam Speaker, it does not end there. In addition to our digital endeavors, we are poised to capitalize on the power of out-of-home advertising, targeting high household incomes in Miami through large format advertising, for example, billboards in the downtown Brickell area, where there are high concentrations of our target clients, as well, and you've seen some of the exciting promotions we've done on the Bright Line trains, on Canadian buses and metros, at Penn Station, and most recently, the branding of the London taxis and the double-decker buses in London. Our messaging will be placed in key locations frequented by affluent travelers as we aim to elevate awareness and generate excitement about the Bahamas as a premier destination for discerning travelers. Additionally, our ongoing Tourism is Everybody's Business campaign, which is being launched today, underscores our collective commitment to promoting the Bahamas as a welcoming and inclusive destination for all. And this includes an I Love the Bahamas campaign, starting on Valentine's Day today, Madam Speaker. These campaigns are designed to run from February through June, and will supplement the already work that we are doing. Our marketing strategy represents a holistic approach to reshaping the narrative surrounding the Bahamas, transcending the confines of negative perceptions to unveil the beauty, diversity, and allure of our nation. And through strategic partnerships, targeted placement, and captivating content, we aim to not only mitigate the impact of crime-related concerns, but also position the Bahamas to continue growing. I would note that since increasing our ad spend, we've promoted new digital advertisements on social media and Google Ads. Many Bahamians have seen them. This push has allowed us to reach 2.6 million people since launching in the last 14 days. This represents a 20% increase in audience and our reach compared to the same period in 2023. Madam Speaker, we are intent on turning a negative into a positive. We have had many obstacles before, and therefore we are determined that everyone in tourism-related businesses will be a part of the turnaround. And there has been already anecdotal data about some drop-off in visitors participating in local activities and some softening booking trends. We are working diligently, and we will arrest and reverse this trend. But I want to share that the fruits of our labor are already beginning to manifest, with early indicators pointing towards a promising upward trend in tourism. We have already witnessed an uptick in occupancy projections at our largest resorts for the periods of January, February, and March compared to the same period in 2023. And when I talk about occupancy level at our major resorts, I'm talking about occupancy levels well in excess of 80%. Furthermore, the Nassau Cruise Port has experienced an increase in cruise passengers visiting in 2024 compared to January to March 2023, signaling renewed interest and confidence in the Bahamas as a premier cruise destination. But that's not all, Madam Speaker. Arrivals at LPIA are reporting double-digit increases in arrivals for the period January and February to date. Forward Keys Analytics and forward bookings. But let me be clear that we acknowledge that some pockets of stakeholders are reporting a fall-off in activity and softening of bookings, and we're working with them hand in hand to improve what they are experiencing. And we want to reassure the public that we are working diligently to re-stimulate interest and redirect traffic with our tourism ambassadors and the Tourism Development Corporation. And whilst the recent travel advisory has undoubtedly posed challenges, it is incumbent upon us, all of us, to navigate these turbulent waters with grace, resilience, and sobriety. And by amplifying positive narratives, engaging key stakeholders, and leveraging social media effectively, we can chart a course towards a brighter future for Bahamian tourism, one that we define, one defined by resilience, innovation, and unwavering optimism. We continue to attract new airlift, Madam Speaker, as we speak. American Airlines started in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, about a week and a half ago, 2 times per week. But it's been going so well, they've already increased it to 3 times per week, Madam Speaker. But that's not all. Silver Airlines from West Palm Beach is scheduled to begin a service to Marsh Harbor 3 times a week, beginning early March, Central and South Abaco. Silver Airlines from West Palm Beach is ramping up to launch a service in the next 2 weeks, coming to Nassau from West Palm Beach on a daily basis. American Airlines are expanding its number of flights, its frequency, and the number of seats it's offering from Dallas to Nassau, from Charlotte to Nassau, from Charlotte to Georgetown, and from Charlotte to North Eleuthera. We continue to attract new investments to our shores even today. Confidence in our tourism product and in our country remain very strong. We are a resilient people, Madam Speaker. We've seen many storms before. We are proud and an independent people. And we have overcome many storms and many obstacles over the past 50 years. And I'm confident that we will do so again. We will prevail, Madam Speaker. God has been very good to our beloved country, and may he continue to bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as we show love today for our favorite country, the only country we have, our beloved Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Order that the document be brought up. Order the document to lie on the table. Further communication by ministers? The chair recognizes the honourable member for Garden Hills.
It's always a privilege to stand in this honorable place on behalf and represent the great people of the Garden Hills constituency. It's also a privilege to stand here, Madam Speaker, today as the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture. Before I commence my communication, I'd like to wish everybody in this honorable house happy Ash Wednesday. And to all the lovely ladies in the chambers, happy Valentine's Day. I'll also take this opportunity to wish my lovely daughter, Keitra Boleg, and my lovely wife, happy Valentine's Day. I let them know publicly I love them. Yeah, for sure. Madam Speaker, I'd also like to take this opportunity to wish all the residents in my constituency who are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday, and extend sincere condolences to those who would have lost a loved one during the recent week. Madam Speaker, my ministry and the various programs that comes under its auspices are helping to shape the young men and women of this country. In a time where crime has become the focus, one must shift and highlight the recent sporting achievement of a young Bahamian woman. Madam Speaker, a small but powerful country that continues to push above its weight has inked its name into the world record books once again, proving that sports changes lives, and this archipelagic nation is amongst the best in the world. Madam Speaker, today we gather to celebrate an extraordinary achievement by one of our very own. This marks a new sporting era and the possible crowning of a future golden girl. Madam Speaker, a record that stood for over 16 years was shattered by Bahamian. Shattered. As the indoor season climaxes, Devon Charlton was able to put together the perfect race against a stacked field of top elite athletes from around the world. On Sunday, while competing in the Melrose Games in New York, Charlton's sizzling time of 7.67 seconds eclipsed the old timing passed by Suzanne Culler. The time was also a new national record. The time of 7.67 seconds has reconfirmed the Bahamas' position in sports on the global stage. Devon joined the scores of other Bahamians who continue to make us all proud. This triumph is not just for Devon, but for every Bahamian. As her success fills us with immense pride and inspiration that we are on our way up. Madam Speaker, Devon's remarkable victory is a showing of her dedication and resilience. With her recent achievements, She has set a new standard of excellence and demonstrated to the world the limitless potential of Bahamian athletes. As we stand on the brink of the 2024 Olympics, Devon's victory serves as a testament of hope and motivation for our entire nation. We are more than confident that she will continue to soar to greater heights, representing the Bahamas with grace and distinction on the world stage. In recognition of her outstanding accomplishment, it is my honor to announce that my ministry will be presenting Ms. Devon Charlton with a $10,000 token of appreciation. Madam Speaker, this is just a small gesture compared to the magnitude of her achievement, but it symbolizes our unwavering support and admiration for her remarkable talent and dedication. I say to Devon, your victory today is not just a milestone, it's a testament to your extraordinary talent, hard work, and perseverance. On behalf of the entire nation, I extend my heartfelt congratulations to you. May your success inspire generations to come, and may you continue to make us proud as you embark on your journey to the Olympics Games and beyond. Go forth with confidence, Devon, knowing that the entire Bahamas stands behind you every step of the way. Congratulations once again, Devon Charlton, the world record breaker and pride of the Bahamas. Madam Speaker, I also take this opportunity to invite and encourage all Bahamians to attend the upcoming America Cup qualifier game of our senior men's national team that will be played at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium on Sunday, the 25th of February, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Team Bahamas will match up against Puerto Rico. The team consists of Kenton Smith, Rashad Davis, Davario Miller Sr., Travis Munnings, Dominic Bridgewater, David Nesbitt, Jerron Keno Burrows, Godfrey Rowell, Dunrod Knowles, Aaron Levarity, Emmanuel Newsom, Aaron Gordon, Kimsey Sylvester, Jonathan McFall, Dylan Musgrove, Jane Ronnie Cadet, Kuyamata Gibson, and our very own Kai Jones. The team will travel to Puerto Rico next week to play in the first half of the window. Madam Speaker, our five-time Carifta Swim Championship team is also preparing to capture the sixth straight title. If successful, this feat will be done on home soil in a newly renovated stadium. And I take this opportunity to thank the executive of the Bahamas Aquatics Federation, coaches from the various clubs, swimmers, their parents, and all stakeholders for their patience and understanding as the work continues to ensure that the stadium is completed ahead of the Federation's trials and championships. The Carifta Swimming Championship will be held Friday, the 29th of March through Wednesday, the 3rd of April, 2024. The National Sports Authority is doing an excellent job in managing the renovations. They, too, must be applauded for their relentless effort and hard work. Madam Speaker, our Carifta track and field team will be headed to Georgetown, Grenada. They, too, will be competing during the Easter holiday weekend. The Bahamas Association of Athletics Associations is preparing the team, and the executives are working closely with my ministry, who always provide the charter. Thanks to Bahamas Air for team travel. Madam Speaker, these regional meets are where our future athletes are created and shine. Devon, Shauna Miller-Weebo, Stevie Gardner, Anthony Strawn, Nakia DeVoe Christie, Ariel Weish, Jonah Evans, Jeremy Knowles, and the likes all got their start at these regional meets. The future is definitely bright for the Bahamas, and my ministry theme this year for sports is timely. Reigning in new era of sporting excellence. I take time to congratulate all athletes thank them for their hours of sacrifice, hard work during training, and discipline. These are great attributes that produces well-rounded young men and women. Sports can help curb crime. Madam Speaker, I thank you once again for giving me this opportunity to rise on behalf of the great people of the Garden Hills constituency and say congratulations to the newest world record holder, a Bahamian, Devon Charlton, and to all the other athletes. We are rooting for you. I say, go Team Bahamas.
Thank you, Honourable Member. Order the document be brought up. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Central Grand Bahama.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also rise as the Shadow Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture to offer congratulations, to offer sincere congratulations to someone, well, condolences to all those who ran in the race with her, who got beaten. But to congratulate someone that I've known all of her life, Devon Charlton, on this amazing achievement. D is for Devon, but in her world, I believe that D stands for determination, dedication, and desire. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate her parents, personal friend of mine, David and Laura Charlton. We all know of the contribution that David would have also made to the development of track and field as one of our most outstanding junior and senior athletes. He's brought a lot of joy through his performances, as well as I admire the dedication of his wife, Laura, who, along with him, created the Star Trackers, one of the best sporting organizations we have in this country. And I also want to stress to the Bahamian population and to the world that Devon is coached by a Bahamian, Rolando Lanny Green, who's one of the best we have in the world. So she has broken the world record being coached by a Bahamian living abroad. So we also need to recognize the contribution that Rolando Lanny Green has also made to our development. So once again, on behalf of the loyal opposition, myself personally and my family, I would like to congratulate Devon Charlton on this amazing achievement. Thank you very much.
Honourable Member. Order the document to lie on the table. Further communication by ministers? By ministers? We will now go to communication by members. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Seabreeze.
Good morning.
Morning,
Madam
Honourable
Speaker, it
Member.
is always an honor to stand in this honorable House and represent the wonderful residents of Seabreeze. Madam Speaker, before I commence my communication, I would like to thank my Seabreeze team as we're out in the Seabreeze community from 6:30 a.m. this morning on Bay Lily Drive. What a joy it was, Madam Speaker, to see the smiles on the faces of so many residents, including school children heading to school. It was indeed a pleasure to wish them a happy Valentine's Day as we were able to spread love with gift bags of chocolates, Valentine's Day socks, Valentine's scarves, and lots of sweet treats. Madam Speaker, we were delighted to do this with a goal of spreading love. Thank you, Team LB, for your support. Madam Speaker, as we are still in the year of our Golden Jubilee, we are still celebrating our beloved Bahama land. In less than 5 months, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas will commemorate its 51st anniversary of independence. In observance of our golden anniversary of independence, a number of signature events were held in New Providence, Grand Bahama, and our family islands and overseas missions to mark this historic milestone. Among them, Jubilee Day, the 50th on Bay Festival, National Pride Day, the Masterclass Series, and many other phenomenal events, including 242 Day, which really kicked off our Golden Jubilee celebrations. It was amazing to see our national colors, gold, aquamarine, and black, everywhere. People on the family islands, professionals in their offices, students in the schools, people everywhere were displaying their national colors and their national pride on the 24th of February, 242 Day. This day is designed to bring the country alive with our beautiful national colors displayed everywhere. Every government office and agency should be a part of this. This is designed to be a day of patriotism, fostering a sense of unity and pride among Bahamians. Cars, homes, and businesses could all be adorned with the colors of our flag. Madam Speaker, February 24th, 242 Day falls on a Saturday this year. And so we propose to start our celebrations on Friday, February 23rd, 2024, so that all of our schools, business establishments, government ministries, and departments throughout the country can participate. 242 Day beckons us all to rise and stand for our country. It gives us another reason to take on a new challenge, to inject love and pride into everything we do as Bahamians. Madam Speaker, I close with this final verse of our national song, God Bless Our Sunny Clime, authored by Reverend Dr. Philip Ramming. Not for this time, not for this chosen few alone we pledge ourselves. Live loyal to our God. Love country, friend, and foe. Oh, help us by thy might, great God, our King. Join us in celebration in our country on Friday, February 23rd, 242 Day. Let's show the world that we are proud to be Bahamian.
Thank you, Honorable Member. We will now move. Order that the document be brought up. Thank you. Order the document to lie on the table. There's no communication by the clerk, so we'll now move to question time. Could we have the clock set to 30 minutes, please? Okay, we revert back. Before we get them, we will go revert back to laying of documents by ministers. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Golden Gates.
Madam Speaker, I rise to table the following documents on behalf of the Minister of National Security. I beg leave to lay on the table of the House a copy of the following: the Price Control General Amendment Number 2 Regulations 2024.
Thank you, honorable member. Order the document be brought up. Thank you. Order the document to lie on the table. Further laying.
Madam Speaker, I beg leave to lay on the table of the House a copy of the following: the Supreme Court Electronic Filing Rules 2023, Appointed Day Notice 2024.
Thank you, honorable member. Order the document be brought up. Order the document to lie on the table. Further laying. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Exumas and Ragged Island.
Of the House, a copy of the following: the Public Debt Management Bahamas Registered Stock Number 2, 2024, Directions 2023.
Thank you, honorable member. Order that the document be brought up. Order the document to lie on the table. Further laying of documents.
I beg leave to lay on the table the Public Debt Management Bahamas Registered Stock 2027, 2029, 2031, 2034, 2044, and 2054, Directions 2024.
Thank you, honorable member. Order that the document be brought up. Order the document to lie on the table. For laying of documents?
I beg leave to lay the Public Debt Management Bahamas Register Start 2027, 2029, 2034, 2044, and 2054, Directions 2024.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Order that the document be brought up. Order the document to lie on the table. Further laying? Thank you, Honorable Member. Communications by the clerk? We have now arrived at question time. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Golden Gates.
Madam Speaker, in keeping with the government's commitment to transparency and accountability, we are prepared to respond to questions. The Minister of Energy and Transport and the Minister of Foreign Affairs will respond to questions. All remaining questions,
I'll answer mine as well.
and the Minister of Tourism, all remaining questions are being researched, and upon completion, we will revert in a subsequent question time.
Thank you, honorable member. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Marco City.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The first question, Madam Speaker, is
Give me one moment, honorable member. Could we have the clock set? Oh, okay, thank you, honorable member. You may continue, honorable member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The first question is directed to the Honorable Jobeth Colby Davis. Will the Honorable Minister provide this Honorable House with the breakdown of BPL's $150 million arrears?
Thank you. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with all due respect, I must admit my confusion regarding the $150 million in arrears inquiry posed by the honorable member. I'm uncertain whether the question pertains to liabilities owed by Bahamas Power and Light or to monies that are due to BPL. To provide a precise and informed response, I kindly request further clarity at a later date from the honorable member regarding the specifics of their query.
Thank you, honorable member. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Marco City.
I would like to rely on the rules that give me an opportunity to raise a related question with respect to the question I just raised. We are relying, Madam Speaker, on the government's own pronouncements in the media about the arrears of $150 million. So it's not clarification from me, but the government itself can speak to its earlier revelations and admissions about $150 million arrears.
Thank you, honorable member. Further questions?
Madam Speaker, again, I'll move on to the next question, but again, Madam Speaker, the government itself has acknowledged arrears of $150 million. We only wished clarification on the breakdown. The next question, Madam Speaker, and so I will undertake to send to the member where we got that information from to assist her in answering it on the next occasion.
Thank you, honorable.
Madam Speaker, the next question is for the Minister with responsibility for Foreign Affairs, Minister Mitchell. Will the Honourable Minister, and in his absence, one of his colleagues, advise the Honourable House on the number of envoys this administration or ambassadors, representatives of the country that have been added, and what are they being paid for? What is the amount that they are being paid? So just to restate, will the Honourable Minister advise the Honourable House on the number of envoys this administration has hired and added, and what is the compensation package for them?
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Nassau Village.
Madam Speaker, in relation to the question posed to the Minister of Foreign Affairs in his absence, the answer is that the research is currently ongoing on this particular question, and as soon as it's made available, we will revert to the Honourable House.
Thank you, honorable member.
Madam Speaker, I would just like to note that this question, and I should have done it from the beginning, Madam Speaker, this question was first posed to the government on the 6th of October, 2023. October, November, December, January. We're now 5 months, almost 5 months later, Madam Speaker. And so my related question then is to the Minister, is the delay, given the fact that we first raised this on the 6th of October 2023, due to the large volume of envoys added that require such detailed research?
The chair recognizes the honourable member for Fort Charlotte.
Madam Speaker, the rules clearly establish that when the minister gives an explanation, it's not subject to debate. It's really in your discretion, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, honourable member. Further questions?
Madam Speaker, the point is clearly made that we have the right, Madam Speaker, to follow up with a related question. Only if the question is completely unrelated, Madam Speaker, then such a concern that has been raised is valid. It was a related question. The question was about what accounted for the delay, given almost 5 months later. Was it due to the volume of persons that have been appointed? What could possibly have been, and Madam Speaker, that is relevant.
The chair recognizes the honourable member for Fort Charlotte.
If the reason, research, it's not in the minister's research, it's the research by the public officers.
Madam Speaker, the third question I wish to raise, Madam Speaker, is for the Honourable Jobette Colby Davis. Minister, will the Honourable Minister advise the Honourable House on the cause of the fire in the North Andros power plant? And permit me to just give the questions jointly. And will the Honourable Minister, the next question which is related, will the Honourable Minister provide this Honourable House with the recommendations that were made in the aftermath of the fires in Bimini, Exuma, and New Providence? And were these recommendations applied in Andros and elsewhere? And then the final question in that series, will the Honourable Minister provide this Honourable House with a date when complete and permanent restoration can be expected? And this was from the 30th of October, 2023. This was put on the record.
The chair recognizes the honourable member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, first answer, I wish to inform this honorable House that the investigation into the fire incident at the North Andros power plant is currently an ongoing matter with the police authorities. Based on the preliminary findings, it appears that the fire was initiated by a catastrophic failure with one of the power plant units. This failure led to the emission of high-temperature debris, which subsequently ignited a nearby source of highly flammable fuel, causing the fire to rapidly spread throughout the facility. I assure this House that we are closely monitoring the situation and will provide updates as they become available. Second answer, I would like to clarify to the Honourable House that there was, in fact, no fire incident at BPL's Exuma plant. Regarding the incidents in Bimini and New Providence, I can confirm that BPL has implemented robust protocols which undergo independent review annually as part of our insurance process. These protocols are designed to mitigate potential risk, with recommendations being made and acted upon consistently to ensure the safety and reliability of our power supply. Third answer, I would like to confirm that the established protocols and recommendations for risk mitigation, which are independently reviewed annually, have been applied across BPL's operations, including Andros and other locations. These measures are part of our ongoing commitment to enhancing the safety and efficiency of our services. Fourth answer. I'm pleased to inform the Honourable House that the Government of the Bahamas has recently initiated a request for proposal for renewable energy solutions across the Family Islands, which includes North and Central Andros. This initiative is aimed at providing a sustainable and permanent solution for the energy generation needs of these communities. In the interim, BPL is in the process of installing 4 megawatts of rental generation in North Andros, which will serve the communities of North and Central Andros until the permanent solution is fully operational. I'm advised that this temporary solution will be in place within the next 30 days. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. And while we move on to the next question, I'm asking the clerk to please collect the responses thus far. Yeah, they have to be. Yes. All of the documents we brought out? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise this Honorable House with a detailed explanation the $110 million loan provided to BPL, including the terms of the loan, interest charged, and its contribution to the fuel surcharge experienced by BPL customers?
The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in response to the Honorable Member's inquiry, I wish to make clear that BPL was granted a $110 million loan by the government to address the under-recovery of fuel costs incurred by the COVID-19 pandemic. The specifics of this loan, including the terms and interest rates, are in the process of being finalized. During the pandemic, to alleviate financial strain on our customers, BPL charged a reduced rate for fuel costs, absorbing the difference and deferring essential capital projects. Subsequently, through a glide path fuel recovery strategy, we have been able to recover a significant portion of the under-recovered amount, allowing us to resume and fund critical infrastructure projects.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker, a related question to the answer provided. Is it customary for the central government to provide to an agency of the government, such as BPL, a loan without having worked out in advance the terms of that loan? Yeah. Sorry? No, I was speaking to the minister. Yes.
Speaker, I defer to that being provided at a later date.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Madam Speaker, will the Honourable Minister acknowledge that the loan provided to BPL must be accounted for within the approved budgetary appropriations authorized by Parliament as required by the Public Debt Management Act and the Constitution?
Okay. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as the Minister of Energy and Transport, I acknowledge the importance of adhering to the Public Debt Management Act and the Constitution in managing public finances. However, matters pertaining to the accounting and budgetary appropriations of the loan provided to BPL are under the jurisdiction of the Ministry of Finance. Therefore, I must defer to my colleagues in the Ministry of Finance for detailed explanation and comments regarding the fiscal management and accounting for this loan.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, since the Minister of Finance is present, would the Minister of Finance then speak to those two matters?
Yes. That would have to be put on further notices, Honorable Member.
Sorry?
That would be placed on further notices.
Okay. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would then ask the Honourable Minister, how does the government plan to rectify this situation and ensure proper accounting for the loan?
Thank you, Honorable Member. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, given the financial nature of this situation, it falls within the ambit of the Ministry of Finance. As such, while I am fully committed to ensuring transparency and accountability in all public matters, I must defer to the Ministry of Finance for further explanations and steps regarding the accounting and management of the loan provided to BPL.
Thank you, Honorable
Madam-
Member. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Yes, Madam Speaker, I wonder if Madam Speaker would assist the opposition and the public in at least giving the Minister of Finance an opportunity to say whether or not at this time he's prepared to answer these particular questions, since they are also the subject of a letter that I'd sent to him some months ago.
Madam Speaker, would love to have done that, but I am certain that since those questions were not on the table, that the Honorable Member is not prepared to answer those questions at this time, and by acknowledgement, I would like to ask the Honorable Member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador to concur if he is not prepared to answer those questions at this time, for the records of this House.
In your assessment of the situation today.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, if I was in a court of law, I would have said leading the witness, Madam Speaker.
Praise the Lord, we in the House of Assembly.
Since we're not, Madam Speaker, I'll only rely on the court of public opinion. Madam Speaker, I'd like to once again put a question to the Honorable Minister Colby Davis. Will the Honorable Minister provide the Honorable House an explanation as to why there was no public announcement or press conference regarding the awarding of contracts worth $3.35 million to Digisoft for software development in the Port Department and $3.57 million annually to Adolfo Maritime Group for the maintenance and upkeep of navigational aids?
The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I appreciate the query regarding the contracts awarded to Digisoft for software development in the Port Department and to Adolfo Marine Group for the maintenance of navigational aids. I wish to affirm that these matters were discussed in detail during the budget debate and subjected to a transparent public tender process, with the outcomes disclosed to the Ministry of Finance. I assure you, Honorable Member, that there has been no intention to withhold information on these contracts from the Bahamian people.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, is it possible for those that we are able to collect as we go the responses of the question? Okay, thank you very much. Will the Honorable Minister Colby Davis advise this Honorable House if the contract for software development at the port was not awarded, why permit me to repeat, will the Honorable Minister advise this Honorable House if the contract for the software development at the port was not awarded to the winning bidder listed on the government's procurement portal, Infrasoft Technology? Why would they not award it, but instead it was awarded to a company called Digisoft Technologies?
The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I can confirm that following a competitive bidding process, the winning bidder was Digisoft Limited, not Technologies. This decision was the result of a thorough and competitive two-round bidding process as recommended by the Tenders Board, comprised of senior government officials. As the Minister of Energy and Transport, my role did not involve participation in the Tenders Board. Hence, my comments are based on the process's integrity and fairness.
Thank you, Honorable Member. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, permit me then to omit question number 2, that again appears to have been answered in the context of that answer, but to proceed with the next question. Will the Honorable Minister provide this Honorable House with information about that bidding process for Digisoft contract? And to follow up, did Digisoft submit a bid during the formal bidding process?
The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to inform this Honorable House that the awarding of the software development contract to Digisoft Limited was the result of a thorough and competitive two-round bidding process as recommended by the Tenders Board, comprised of senior government officials. As the Minister of Energy and Transport, my role did not involve participation in the tenders board, hence my comments are based on the process's integrity and fairness. Second answer, yes.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Yes, Madam Speaker, will the Honourable Minister advise this Honourable House on how the government determined the capabilities of Digisoft Technologies, a seemingly new company with no apparent track record in this area, to handle a project of this size and scope? And then the final question, how many technical staff does Digisoft have, and how many similar projects have the company undertaken?
The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm advised that the evaluation of Digisoft Limited's capability to handle such a significant project was conducted with due diligence through a two-stage competitive bidding process. The Tenders Board's review of Digisoft's detailed proposal, supported by the principal's extensive experience and qualification in the computer information systems, validated their selection for this project. Second answer. Madam Speaker, Digisoft Limited is comprised of a team of highly skilled developers drawn from an impressive local talent pool. They have worked on several similar projects, and the company's consistent positive feedback from clients serve as a testament to their capability and reliability for this project.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, would the Honourable Minister advise this House as to why was there no information available on the government's procurement portal regarding the bidding process for this $3.57 million annual contract regarding the contract awarded to Adolpha Maritime Group?
Thank you. Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish to clarify that the bidding process was indeed public and transparent, with all related information accessible on the government procurement portal. The proposal went out to public tender on October 20th, 2021. The RFP was uploaded via the e-procurement supplier registry portal.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, on the related matter, I would wish to ask the Honourable Minister how many bids were received and analyzed, and what decision did the Tenders Board reach in respect to this contract?
The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the e-procurement supplier registry portal automatically shortlisted 7 companies to 2 companies. These 2 bids underwent a thorough review by the Tenders Board, which is comprised of senior government officials. Following a comprehensive evaluation, the board recommended awarding the contract to Adolpha Maritime Group based on the company's compelling written proposal and cost effectiveness. As the Minister of Energy and Transport, my role did not involve the participation in the Tenders Board process. Hence, my comments are based on the process's integrity and fairness.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, I wish to continue by asking the Minister to provide the Honourable House with the details about the entire value and duration of the contract awarded to Adolpha Maritime Group for the maintenance and upkeep of the navigational aids. And will the Honourable Minister advise this Honourable House on why her ministry failed to publish the summary details of these contracts as required by the Procurement Act?
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm pleased to provide details on the contract awarded to Adolpha Maritime Group for the maintenance and upkeep of navigational aids. The annual contract value is $3.5 million, subject to review, performance monitoring, and oversight by the Port Department. This contract encompasses the repair, replacement, and maintenance of navigational aids across the Bahamas, an archipelago nation with 200 aids to navigate. These aids are crucial for ensuring the safe navigation of vessels within our waters. Addressing the deterioration and non-functionality of many navigational aids is of paramount importance for our country's safety and navigational integrity. Second answer. Madam Speaker, concerning the publication of contract summaries as mandated by the Public Procurement Act, I understand that the Ministry of Finance has published the summary details of these contracts. As the Minister of Energy and Transport, my responsibilities are distinct from the publication duties of awarded contracts, which fall within the purview of the Ministry of Finance.
Thank you, Honourable Member.
As a
The chair
follow-up
recognizes
question,
you.
Madam Speaker, the question asked also for the duration of the contract.
Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
The contract is a performance-based, has KPIs attached, and therefore it is controlled. The duration is managed by the Port Department. They have to pass phases.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, I wish to also ask the Minister what is the government's justification for not complying with the obligation of providing all of the summary details.
The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Elizabeth.
Madam Speaker, as to the query, compliance with the obligation to publish contract summaries, I reiterate that, to the best of my knowledge, the Ministry of Finance has fulfilled its responsibility in publishing the details of the awarded contracts. It is important to note that the responsibility for publication of awarded contracts lies with the Ministry of Finance and not directly with the Minister of Energy and Transport.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Madam Speaker, I wish to pose questions to the member for the Minister of Finance, the member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador. Madam Speaker, the first question is, will the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister of Finance confirm for this Honourable House whether the government of the Bahamas finalized a foreign loan transaction totaling $500 million during the month of January 2024 that was supported by a policy-based loan guarantee mechanism from the Inter-American Development Bank?
The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Golden Gates.
At the beginning of question time, I advised that the Minister of Energy and Transport and the Minister of Foreign Affairs were prepared for questions, and no other ministers were prepared at this time. And Tourism is also advising that he's ready for questions. The remaining questions are being researched, as I noted, and will be reverted. The responses will be reverted upon completion at another question time.
Indeed, you did. Thank you, Honourable Member. The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for St. Anne's.
Speaker, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is not here. In the absence of a minister, another parliamentary secretary is to answer the questions. We didn't have any answer from a minister in place of the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Honourable Member, did not the Honourable Member for Nassau Village respond? No, he's a parliamentary.
The Paul of the Minister of the Ministry of
Secretary
Foreign
of that
Affairs
ministry.
responded on behalf of the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Madam Speaker, I just wanted to the answers to my questions. If
Thank
that's
you,
okay.
Honourable Member.
Thank you.
The order that the document be brought up. Response to the questions.
Thank you.
Order that the document be to lie on the table. The chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Marco City.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The question number 9 was submitted on the 30th of October, 2023, with respect to the opening of the British Colonial Hotel. Madam Speaker, that time has obviously passed. It's been published that the hotel has been opened. So my related question to that opening is, can the minister confirm whether or not the government has been able to determine who the illegal workers were and who was responsible for those illegal workers at the British Colonial Hotel being utilized, who brought them in? I'll be happy to answer it. I'll be happy to answer it. We raised the issue. I'm responding to the question raised by the member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador about illegal workers. We raised previously the issue of a number of foreign workers who were apprehended by the Immigration Department, and they were then ordered to be released by the minister with responsibility for immigration. And the public has never been informed who those workers were, how they got into the country, who at the end of the day paid the fees for them in order to make them regular workers, and what was the justification for any payment of such fees. We have never gotten those answers, and so I was attaching that question, Madam Speaker, as a follow-up question.
The chair recognizes the honourable member for Exeter and Regular.
Madam Speaker, no time for grandstanding today. In relation to question number 9, I can confirm that the British colonial is opened.
Yes.
It opened on December 18th. 300 people employed, 18,000 square feet of meeting space, and it's currently running for February and March, nearly 100% occupancy.
Madam Speaker, was asking on the related question if the minister wishes to speak to the immigration issue raised with respect to the British colonial Hilton. Madam Speaker, the follow-up question for the minister with responsibility for tourism.
Was that a question placed on question time?
No, it's
the chair recognizes the honourable member for Golden Gate.
Madam Speaker, that is a new question that's not on the notices. So we defer at that time. He can place it on the notices for future question time. And our time is up.
Thank you, honourable member. Order that the response to question number 9 do lie on the table. Yes.
As your Prime Minister said, that's the past.
Order the document to lie on the questions. We have now completed question time. Kalani, I love that response. No, not yet, not yet. The chair recognizes the honourable member for Golden Gates.
Madam Speaker, I have consulted, and the opposition leader of business has agreed that we will revert to the original order of business for first reading of bills.
Thank you, honourable member. Honourable member for State House.
We did discuss that, Madam Speaker. And we agreed to it. I just want to ask that while there has already begun a member's statement, that other members in the proper order be given an opportunity before we adjourn or suspend today to give their own member statements. Thank you.
Thank you, honourable member. We'll now revert back to the order of business. First reading. First reading of bills.
First reading of the following bill. I beg leave to introduce and have read for the first time a copy of the following: a bill for an act to repeal and replace the Apprenticeship Act to make provision for the regulation of the training of apprentices and for connected purposes.
Thank you, honourable member. Is there a seconder? Order that the document be brought up. It has been moved and seconded Thank you. That the following bill be read for a first time. A bill for an act to repeal and replace the Apprenticeship Act to make provision for the regulation of the training of apprentices and for connected purposes. As many are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is carried. Order that the bill be read for a first time and tabled.
Repeal and replace the Apprenticeship Act to make provision for the regulation of the training of apprentices and for connected purposes.
For the first reading?
Thanks, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Second reading, Committee of Bills?
No.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Committee of the Whole, third reading and passing of bills, consideration of Senate amendments, resolutions, member statements. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for St. Anne's.
I understood there were amendments to the bail amendment bill from the Senate. If there were, in fact, amendments, those should have already now been presented in the order of business. Madam Speaker, the constituency of South Andros does not have a F&M representative in office there, but I do receive requests from time to time, and one of the pressing issues is when will they have dependable portable water, and something that I've spoken with their good representative before on is the status of the road contract. That road contract had issues, quality concerns were raised, and I think the contract was under review by the Ministry of Works the last time I received an update. I'm wondering if there's any progress made now that the residents of South Andros can be made aware of. And since I'm talking about roads, I must talk about the roads in my constituency. There were a number of potholes identified in Blair. Majority of them were finished. Ones that weren't are becoming worse with the rain. 6 lights are needed to be replaced on the entrance into Blair from Eastern Road. And there are a number of other sections of New Providence, of St. Anne's, excuse me, Madam Speaker, that are in need of attention by the Ministry of Public Works. That said, since the minister has taken over, as well as the former minister, but since the minister has taken over, I have been able to have a number of potholes patched. Ministry of Works, I think, still has the portfolio for Water and Sewage Corporation, and there seem to be someone, thank you very much, someone appears, or someone should have the portfolio for Water and Sewage Corporation, and there has become a pattern by the Water and Sewage Corporation of removing tar off the road to do works underneath the tar, and then leaving those cut sections of road for lengthy periods of time along Eastern Road and in other sections of St. Anne's. I think that there was a law brought in where if you dig up the road, you have to repair the road. That's not being done in a timely manner. Ministry of Works should not be responsible for patching up water and sewage utility holes. So can we have that looked into? That was also part of the questions that I had pending, but we'll get to those another day. Madam Speaker, thank you for the time. That completes my member's statement.
Thank you, Honorable Member. For the member statements, the chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Kalani.
Yes. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I just want to inform this Honorable House that the CCTV system in the Kalani constituency has commenced. Gambia is completely completed. Tropical Garden is completed. And I want to inform the public that as you move through those communities, you are being monitored 24/7. We will be embarking very soon on North and Southwest Ridge, inclusive of Sea Beach and Kalani Shores. And Madam Speaker, My constituents are very concerned and bombard me with great regularities about the challenges they face at the Princess Margaret Hospital. In fact, they insist that they are losing confidence in the Princess Margaret Hospital. And I asked the minister to kindly look into this matter, because that's the only facility for the poor man, and in many instances the average man, to utilize. And we would not want them to lose confidence in such an institution, and you must do everything to reverse that. We have tried throughout my career and previous ministers and previous governments to ensure that the confidence level of the institution remains. And just the other day, I'm sure the minister would be quite aware, just the other day, a tile had fallen on the head of a nurse in the pediatric ward, and you can imagine had that fallen on one of the infants or the young children in that particular ward. And these are matters that must be corrected. And this could have been avoided had you only continued with the program that we had in place with the new critical care block, maternity wards, etc. The matters that we see today could have been avoided. But Minister, the most important thing is we must not allow the confidence level in the institution to fall. Because once that occurs, individuals will not go to hospital, they will stay home, that the disease process would further deteriorate, and when they arrive to hospital, they would arrive at a stage just before death. So I ask you to kindly reverse that as much as possible. The health professionals are excellent, they're great. Anytime I have a health problem, I go to Princess Margaret Hospital because I'm very confident in the care by my colleagues, but they're working under stressful and strained conditions. And in spite of that, they're delivering care on par with any U.S. or international institution.
The chair recognizes the honourable member for Tall Pines.
Appreciate that. The member of Kalani can know that the Princess Margaret Hospital and our 3 tertiary facilities are suffering challenges that are age-old problems. I want the public to know that the Ministry of Health and Wellness is doing all in our power to improve the infrastructural situation, particularly at the Princess Margaret Hospital. I can say without any contradiction that large cross-sections of work is being conducted at the Princess Margaret Hospital. 70% of our accident emergency is under active renovation. And during the active renovation, we ran into difficult problems because it's an old building where we develop a lot of roof issues. We went to Cabinet and got the additional resources to get those roof issues resolved. But the residents of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas must understand that the Princess Margaret Hospital is an institution that is more than 70 years old, and much of the infrastructure is crumbling, and we are doing all in our power to ensure that we keep the institution functioning as we commit to the Bahamian people to construct a new state-of-the-art facility in New Providence, and that is the way forward. But while we're in the process of structuring a new facility, we must keep the Princess Margaret Hospital functioning to make sure that the infrastructural challenges that we currently face with an aging institution is maintained. I am convinced that even though we have severe challenges, the Bahamian people can rest assured that we have very qualified individuals at our institutions, and these individuals are doing the best that we possibly can in these circumstances. What we do not want to do is to allow negativity to creep in, that shadow or foreshadow incompetencies as it relates to our healthcare professionals. I stand on their shoulders to say that healthcare professionals who work in our public institutions, both tertiary and primary healthcare, are doing the best that they can with the challenges that we currently face. The Bahamian people, like every Caribbean country, we are experiencing shortage of manpower resources as a result of direct recruitment by developed countries who are constantly in our jurisdiction recruiting our professionals, and we are doing all in our power to push back on that event. I am pleased to report that the roof situation that we currently face with the renovation of the accident emergency is presently under control, because that was the first thing we had to do. We had to ensure that the roof is secure so that the major infrastructural work that is taking place at the hospital is not affected. That is now in place, and I cannot wait until we have completed our contract with the complete renovation of the accident emergency, where the residents of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas who use our facility will be pleased with the amount of efforts that is taking place at the Princess Margaret Hospital. For that, I want to thank the member for Kalani. He knows. He sat in the chair before. These are age-old problems, Kalani. Absolutely. And they have been left behind, and the Ministry of Health must now do what it has to do to repair. Absolutely. So I am pleased to say that we will continue to improve the delivery of healthcare services at the Princess Margaret Hospital and continue the recruitment process for healthcare professionals to ensure that the Princess Margaret Hospital is able to provide the service at the quality necessary for the Bahamian people.
Thank you, Honourable Member. The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Golden Gate.
The Chair recognizes the Honourable Member for Golden Gates.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy. Mr. Deputy, this morning I would like to recognize some very important members we have in our gallery this morning. They are the members, some members of the National Tripartite Council. And this council would have played, along with the Cabinet Select Committee, a pivotal and a leading role in framing the policy of our National Apprenticeship Program bill that was laid this morning. This National Apprenticeship Program is a part of a larger rollout of our Bahamas' second generation Decent Work Country program. And again, you know, we're always proud when we're the first. This is the first of its kind in our region. So I'd like to ask these members to stand as I recognize them. Ms. Sharon Martin, who is the chair of our National Tripartite Council. Mr. Peter Gowdy. Ms. Sherry Benjamin. Ms. Yolanta Yallop, and she was with us earlier today and had to leave. I would like to also recognize Ms. Joan Dilworth and all of the members of the National Tripartite Council. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you for bringing us to this. We appreciate you, and thank you for being here to witness this historic moment. Mr. Deputy, I want to note that the National Apprenticeship Program is expected to be one of the great pillars of our country that will indeed live on for decades and do a great work in terms of even addressing some of the societal ills that we face today. I also want to recognize my honorable colleague from Yamacraw, who also was a part of our National Apprenticeship Policy Task Force. So, Deputy, it's always a privilege to stand in this House to represent the great people of Golden Gates, who I love, and wish them a blessed Ash Wednesday and a happy Valentine's Day. I love them just as much as my colleague from Garden Hills loves his constituents. But today I want to especially acknowledge and send a message of condolences and love to the families of some of our constituents who have passed on in the past 2 weeks. The family of Robert Buzzy Gardner, the family of Jamal Humes, the family of Toya Clark, family of Rose Knight, the family of Ruth Miller, the family of Denise Dawkins, and the family of stalwart Denise Sands. I also would like to give love and condolences to another stalwart in our Golden Gates constituency, Ms. Shirley Kay, who was a very active senior citizen in our monthly senior citizens matinee that I enjoy with them every month as we go on a date to the Dundas Center for the Performing Arts, to the family of Ms. Shirley Kay, especially her daughter Lynette. Ms. Shirley Kay will be funeralized on Saturday, the 17th of February at 11 a.m. I will be present to give my love and respects to the family. Simultaneously, there will be a funeral for the daughter of two good friends of mine, one Mr. Sean Farrington and one Miss Ingrid Farrington, who lost their daughter Whitney Farrington, who will also be funeralized this Saturday at 11 a.m. We give love and condolences to them, prayers of comfort and peace, and we say that may all the souls of the dearly departed rest in God's perfect peace. Finally, Mr. Deputy, I would like to send get well wishes to a young superstar in Golden Gates, Mr. R.J. Ramming, who is a student at the Isbeth School, but a constituent of Golden Gates, who suffered an unfortunate accident recently and has had to undergo a number of surgeries, but I've got the great news from his father, ASP Raymond Ramming, this morning that he is being discharged today and will be resting comfortably at home. I will be coming to visit RJ today to make sure I give him a special Love Day Get Well visit. So thank you, Mr. Deputy.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statements. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Yarmacraw.
Deputy, just very quickly, I would like to, as I stand on behalf of the good people of Yarmacraw, to wish everyone in Yarmacraw, the Yarmacraw constituency, a good, holy beginning of, Lent, and also happy Valentine's Day, especially to my wife, Candace, who is my rock. Mr. Deputy, the Yarmacraw constituency has, since November, I think, consistently, actually October, consistently every day we have had tractors moving in the area trying to push down derelict property. There's an appeal for persons who own property to please pay attention to your property, in the east, because this is our effort in fighting crime. We have persons who would traverse that area who don't necessarily live in the area, but they use the dark, bushy areas in order to sometimes hide out. And so we are making an effort to try and push back some of these bushy areas, but as you know, this can be a very expensive venture. So we continue these cleanups, and we ask persons to stop the indiscriminate, the dumping in bushes. That has become a very vexing problem. We have cleanups often, and immediately after cleanups, persons dump items, debris, household items, mattresses, old refrigerators, and it's a very vexing problem. It harbors rodents, and it also is an eyesore for the community. So we are asking persons to please be visible in the community, and also those would-be lawbreakers to stop dumping in derelict properties in the eastern area. We also have undertaken many community initiatives in the fight against crime and just persons being idle, young persons being idle. So we have a basketball tournament coming up. I know that a member for Angliston had a very successful tournament we saw highlighted last week, I think. And similarly, we have a basketball tournament that will be this midterm break. And I encourage my colleagues in this honorable place to also support initiatives or find initiatives for the young people during our holidays, during their time off from school, so that we keep those idle hands. The upcoming basketball tournament will be Saturday, from the 24th to 26th. But on that particular Saturday, I think it'll be the 26th. On that Saturday, Yeah, I think it'll be the 26th, but I'll get the right date out. That is also the farmers market date, and I want to invite persons to come. We had an excellent domino tournament. I'd like to thank the men's branch for participating in that tournament also. The trophy for the tournament 2 years has remained in Yamacraw. And so persons who think that they can play dominoes, come to the east. I'd like to thank my colleague from Nassau Village for showing up. He almost made the semifinals, but I know he only had one hand, so the dominoes wasn't fitting right. There wasn't domino in that day. So we invite him back to our next one. I'd like to thank the member for the Minister for Works, Honorable Member Clay Sweeting, for providing lights on the Farmers Market Park. We have lights and no longer have to depend on putting out generators. And so we also can have evening functions that go later on that park on Nassau East. And we're looking forward to our first anniversary of the Yamacraw Farmers Market. The bathrooms that we expected to be there, he's already done the scoping for it. And that would be the first park in Yamacraw with bathroom facilities and a pavilion. And so we look forward to that and thank him for his work that he continued to do in Yamacraw, including road works and the lighting that is going on. So on behalf of the good people of Yamacraw, I just wish again everybody happy Valentine's Day. Thank you, Mr. Deputy.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further statements by members? Moving right along. Also in the gallery, I'd like to acknowledge Mr. Brother Joseph Curry. Thank you for blessing us with your presence. Okay. Instructions to select committees. Discharge of select committees. Notice of future meetings. The chair recognizes the honorable member for St. Anne's.
We have questions.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Kalani.
Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy. It's Valentine's Day, so I have to go through my file and decide which ones for today. So just give me a minute.
1 minute.
Yeah, so many, you know. No. Let me go with the ankle bracelet one. Mr. Deputy, I understand that the Minister of National Security is in Italy, following the example of our Prime Minister, having a great time at the expense of Bahamian people. But would the acting Minister of National Security please inform the Bahamian people who are the true beneficial owners of the company that was awarded the contract for the ankle monitoring bracelet? I want to repeat that. The acting Minister of National Security.
Honorable member, that question will have to be put to the Minister of National Security, not the acting.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Speaker, these are questions. This is the time in the agenda that new questions are put. That's what's occurring now.
Mr. Deputy, the question goes to the minister. And question number 2, Mr. Deputy, which law firm, question to the minister, which law firm represents the company that was awarded the ankle monitoring bracelet contract? And question number 3, does the honorable member minister appreciate that this could represent a conflict of interest which would require a truly honorable minister to resign? And question number 4, I'm asking questions. I don't answer the questions. Why? Question number 4. Why has the law firm in question not complied with the law with respect to the disclosures of names of the beneficial owners of the company? Those are the questions. The others would come at another time, Mr. Deputy.
Thank you, honorable members. Order that the communication be brought, the notices be brought up.
I have one question.
The chair recognizes the honorable member for Fort Charlotte.
I should wish the rules of the House apply not only to the speeches during a debate or the contribution, but it applies also with respect to questions in terms of imputations of improper motive and negative personal reflections. I mean, it's most improper. So the framing of the question under the parliamentary rules apply equally. And therefore, Mr. Deputy, I would respectfully request that in reviewing these questions, improper imputations be stricken from the record so that it doesn't become an issue of personal privilege and create an unnecessary process within Parliament.
Thank you, honorable member. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Kalani.
Mr. Deputy, I am very aware with the rules of the House, and the rules are straightforward. If in the speaker's preview she feels that the question is inappropriate, the speaker makes the necessary amendment. In this case, the deputy and the speaker. I am very aware of the rule. I know that you wrote the rule book, but I also studied it.
Thank you, honorable member. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Fort Charlotte.
Mr. Deputy, when these rules were drafted, they were not drafted in the FNM headquarters or the PLP headquarters. These rules were drafted by Parliament. FNM members of Parliament sat on the Rules Committee.
Yes.
I remember Brent Simonet making his contribution.
That's right.
The honorable member at that time who was in this Parliament. So it's improper to make these imputation about the rules as if it's a partisan construct. These are the rules of the House. Bipartisan participation under the able guidance of the clerk of the House of Assembly resulted in these rules, which were passed unanimously in Parliament.
Yes.
Page by page or paragraph by paragraph?
There is a process.
Yeah. Thank you, honorable members. Order that the notices be brought up. The chair recognizes the honorable member for East Grand Bahama, Central Grand Bahama.
Central Grand Bahama. Thank you very much, Mr. Deputy. I have one question on behalf of the people of Grand Bahama. Will the Honorable Minister Moxie advise this Honorable House if the ministry or the government of the Bahamas was aware of Pharmachem's closing? If so, when were they made aware, and what efforts were made to intervene to avoid closure and save jobs in Grand Bahama?
Thank you, honorable member. Order that the notices to lie on the table. Adjournment. Oh. The chair recognizes the honorable member for St. Anne's.
Notices in the name of our opposition. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable member.
Renew all notices in the name of the government.
Thank you, honorable member. Order that the notices be brought up. Order that the notices do lie on the table. Adjournment.
Move that the House at its rising do adjourn to Wednesday, the 21st of February, 2024, at 10 a.m.
It has been moved and seconded that the House do adjourn until the 21st of February, 2024, at 10 a.m. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is carried. Final adjournment.
So, Deputy, I move that the House do now adjourn.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the House do now adjourn. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those opposed will stand. The motion is agreed. The House stands adjourned to the 21st of February, 2024 at 10 a.m.